Hi, Dan, Inafix Property Maintenance. I'm doing a follow-up to my cylinder arm purchase. It was the first video I did, not counting the video on the paint can shaker. For me, it was just a proof of concept and no audio. But anyway, this is the follow-up to the cylinder arm purchase. The one I'm calling take one for the team. Why am I calling it take one for the team? Well, I knew going in that it could be a scam, and the only way to find out was for somebody to actually go through the process and see what the outcome was. The first time I was even thinking about this, in Facebook Marketplace in my feed, it kept coming up. Joanne Fabrics was going out of business. They were liquidating all their leftover stock, and it seemed legit. So a lot of people on YouTube were talking up the Singer heavy duty sewing machine, and I thought they were advertising it for $34. Yeah, pretty cheap. So is it real? I don't know. For $34, it might be real. Seems real, right? They're definitely going out of business. They're definitely liquidating the stock they have left. So $34, give it a shot. They also had a REC 607Z portable walking foot for $78, and they generally retail for about $579. So I thought, hey, if the heavy duty works out, I'll get a REC 607 also. But turns out that was a scam, and I lost $34. No big deal. So we chalk it up as a life lesson and we move on. But I still wanted the cylinder arm because I wanted to do heavy duty binding for the tool vests that I'm making. So I typed in buy a cylinder arm sewing machine into the browser. And once my phone spy knew what I was looking for, all kinds of stuff for like Alibaba and stuff like that were coming up on my feed, offering all these Chinese clones. So I did my research on YouTube, on the web, and basically the Alibaba types, they would vet their sellers because they didn't want to wind up looking like fools running a scam because they're trying to be legit. So they didn't want to get a bad reputation on that. So it came up they were a legit seller of wholesale. So I started digging a little deeper. Also found out if a company had a big YouTube presence, like lots of videos, they're probably legit. I'm trying to stick by my notes so I don't miss anything on this. So at this point, okay, back. Yeah, Barkley's with us. Big Mouth Barkley. She's telling me the mailman's here. And Fred's out here with her. Hi, Barkley. Say hi to the people on the camera. Yeah, thank you. Okay, back to the video. They're both out here with me now, so at least they won't be barking. Okay, I came across the one company called REER, R-E-E-R, as a brand. And this company had a lot of clones of the type that I was interested in. So I reached out to them through email. And my point of contact was an Alex Swen, S-W-E-N, at REER Sewing Machine, sales at reermachine.com. I have all his contact information on here, and I'll put that up separately if you want to deal with these people. But basically it's the same. If you find a brand and a company that you want to do business with and they seem legit, this is what you're going to be going through. So at first, the contact was slow going through email. You can imagine they probably check their email once a day, like most of us do, and get back. And if it's over a weekend, you're going to email Friday, you're not going to hear anything till Monday. So he suggested I use WhatsApp so you'd be able to share pics and stuff like that, and do everything a lot faster. And everything that I understood about WhatsApp, I thought it was something that scammers used a lot. So I researched that and discovered most of the rest of the world uses it. So in for a penny, in for a pound. I loaded up WhatsApp, and that seemed to work. I mean, it was pretty much real time. I could send questions into him. He could send questions back to me if they needed to know something. He'd send me pictures, and it worked out a lot better. So that's the big thing with ordering the machine itself. Okay, I ordered after going through everything, deciding on which one I wanted, and he asked, what am I going to use it for? This is what I'm using it for. Do you need this? Do you need that? No, I don't need this, but I do need that. And I asked about the direct drive motors, whether that's the wave of the future, and they said most definitely. And I thought, it wasn't that much more, so I'd go with that. I also got, they generally come through at 220 volt with an option of having it at 110. And I probably figured it was probably something super simple, like just inside hitting a switch on the motherboard and changing it, but I didn't want to go through all that, and they wanted $25 extra for that, so I just paid the $25. It came through 110, so that was nice. So I got everything all situated, and now after my order is all complete, what do I do next? And point of contact said all that was left was paying the bill and the finalization of the sale. And this was all new to me, so he walked me through the process. Basically what it was, they sent everything on a sheet with all the critical information of where the money should be sent and stuff like that. So I went through my credit union, and they made the wire transfer, which is what they're going to do, as per their instructions. So you would go through your financial institution and they would process the wire transfer for you according to the instructions that whoever you're dealing with gives you. And there was a fee for the wire transfer. It wasn't much. It's like $25 or something. And I told you in the last video, the total price of this, the model numbers are 1341 and the price was 1314. So it's almost the same as the model number. So it's really easy for me to remember on this particular machine. Okay. So where are we at then? They do the wire transfer, and they sent me pictures of my particular machine, highlighting the serial number, and they had a quick, like 30-second video of them actually running a piece through and showing you that it works, and showing you a bunch of still pictures from all different angles. So they said that was for when it comes in. Basically, they built the thing there, they took pictures of it, packed it up, and shipped it. So when you get it, you just watch the pictures that they sent. So if you had any questions about where anything went or anything like that, you just reference the pictures that they sent you. Okay, the big thing was, and it wasn't a deal killer for me. I had time to wait. It wasn't a big deal. But if time is an issue, then you might not want to do it this way, because it was a 2-month wait. So it's 60 days. And so what happened, they sent me pictures with serial number in operation, and of the whole loading process with them putting the thing in the Connex container. It was going to be shipped in on the Maersk shipping container truck. And within 60 days, at the end of the 60 days, I got a call from Maersk Shipping and to set up the receive date. And when that date came, they brought it up to my door, and it was packed in the shipping crate, and the shipping crate weighed 183 pounds. It was in kilos, and I had, you go do a conversion on it to find out. It was about 183 pounds. So because I was interested to know that, because when I bought my table saw the one time 20 years ago, they dropped it off the back of the truck, and this thing weighed more than 183 pounds, and I had to get it from the street up to my shop, and that was quite a job. That was not fun. But in this case, they put it on a dolly, they wheeled it up to my door, and then after that, it was just breaking down the shipping container and taking the component pieces out one by one and putting it together. So, yeah, the only thing left was at the end of my last video, I said there was some modifications I did to the foot pedal, and I think there was something else, but there was one issue that I had to address right away, and that was the stop for the binding attachment. And the way they had it on, they just had a bolt going through there with a nut in the front and a nut in the back, and it would hit that, and that's how it came set up. And it came set up ready to work, and it did work. But I wanted to use it sometimes with that out of the way, and I couldn't get the cover open, so I wanted to work on that. So what I wound up doing is taking theirs off. Stand. So I took theirs off, and I do handyman work, and a lot of the stuff I do is putting together Amazon junk that people buy and they don't know how to put together. And it always comes with a bunch of screws and knobs and extra stuff, so whatever I didn't need, I always save. So in this case, I had a nice little knob. And a nut. So I put one nut on the back and screwed it in and out until the attachment stopped where it needed to stop. And then Loctited that nut on there, so this nut won't come off. So now when I need to use it, I put this one in, put the other one on at the end to tighten it down so it can't wiggle it off during operation with all the vibrations. And that worked out quite nicely. And the other big thing was I needed something to hold the binding itself, a little turntable, as it were. Let me get this in here quick. Okay, so that's how it is right now. This little turntable attachment. I mean, it's just like 4 pieces of 6-inch plywood glued and screwed together, and a little plywood platter that I have on top. With the dowel screwed in from the bottom. And I have a shop full of tools, so that something like this is easy to make. Super easy for me, but it's easy for anyone else too. You don't have to make it perfect. All you need is a little square box and a little platform on top and a dowel inside. That's it. And this works fantastic, by the way. And one last thing that I wasn't really shown. Hold on, let me switch the camera angle. This is the knee lift. It's just 2 pieces of scrap wood. Then I routed the channel inside for their knee lift post. So now I can move things nice and easy with my knee while I can keep my eyes on the needle, because I want to have an idea what's going on, because this thing will go through your fingers quite easily. And also I moved the controller because I have it hooked up like this temporarily. The stand I got with it was the half stand, because as I said in the last video, I'm kind of limited to room in here. But I also intend to make my own stand. And when I do that, I'll make a video for that if anybody's interested. I think that's it. If you have any questions on the process or anything that I left out, shoot me a comment and I'll answer it. Thanks.